Hello everyone, I hope everyone is well. I'm just going to open up comments, wait for a couple of people to pop in, do a bit of sharing. I hope everyone's had a good week. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Any plans that you've got? And today we will be talking to Brian Holloway, and we'll be looking at apps and apps in the paranormal. And by all means, let us know what you think in comments. Just loading my comments up. There's been a few issues with Facebook and Messenger recently. And if you've got any questions, also put those in comments. Right, okay. So, guys, welcome to Red Rejects and Beyond Dimensions. And tonight we will be talking to Brian Holloway, looking at apps and apps in the paranormal. Hello, Mary. How are you doing? I hope everything's good. I hope you're well. I hope we've had a good week. And we will introduce Brian Holloway on. Hiya, Brian. How are you doing?
Hello. All right, man. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
Excellent. Just setting up my environment. I'm not in the studio today because out of caution, I've like kind of isolated from studio for now. You know what it is, the old COVID story.
The old Rona, yeah. Well, I had to self-isolate for 10 days, so yes. I feel your pain.
Yes, you know all about it. So, we were looking at going live tomorrow from a location, one near yourself as well.
All right.
So it's a shame we couldn't get there.
No, it's a shame. Well, once all this has died down again, all this self-isolating, we can sort something out.
Definitely.
100%.
And I think we've already reorganized things to for that event as well. So it's all about adapting and just getting on with things. We're good at that. Hello, Chantal Redman. Hello, Mary. So, Brian, how was yourself?
Busy.
Busy.
Very
yes.
well, but busy, yeah.
Busy.
Not only with the apps themselves, like I said, that we do, but obviously we just work and life in general at the minute. As you can see behind us, we're busy decorating. We've got the wall script and everything's just in disarray at the minute. And we're just working hard. It's kind of once lockdown and things ended, Whitby just lit up. You know,
yes.
The amount of people is insane that's been in Whitby the last month or so now, and possibly a bit longer. We've never seen nothing like it. So it's been interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's true. I mean, we've met up with yourself before. Always great meeting with yourself and Samantha.
Oh, cheers.
Whitby is a busy place.
It is very busy.
And it is amazing. It's amazing, you're in thick of it as well. So
we are where we live. We're literally in the main, just right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So it's like what we can see out this window behind us during the day and during the evening, especially when the pubs start rolling out, is fascinating.
Yeah, I mean that sounds, but also as well. I mean, we stayed in caravan in that area, and there's a lot of things happening in that area. You know, there's Whitby, there's Scarborough, there's quite a lot to do and see. There's quite a bit of history there as well, isn't there?
There's a lot of history. Yeah, I mean, Whitby itself is a very, very old fishing town, smuggling haven back in its day. Hence why when we talked once before, and you've seen yourself, a lot of the streets are all very narrow or very low and very dark, obviously, for that reason. And that's continued in Whitby since the smuggling days. You know, like, they've not changed anything. Like, they've obviously built around it, but those little alleyways and things are all still there. It's really
definitely.
Cool. Yeah.
And I love seeing it. I just want to say hello to Judith Wilson and Nigel Porter. Judith Wilson saying hello from Maryland, USA.
Oh, wow.
All best to everyone in USA. Definitely. Awesome. And also, if you can help with any shares, that would be great, because Facebook, there's been a few things with notifications.
Mm-hmm.
Nigel Porter's from the North Pole. Well, I don't know about you, Brian, but it's gone from a scorching UK to it's close to getting eaten on.
It is. Well, we have the last couple of nights in Whitby, because obviously we're right on the seafront, so we get the heating's gone on. You know that. You know it's autumn when the heating's gone on.
Yeah,
you know it's started. Yeah.
I do love Whitby. Hello, David from Texas. One thing about Whitby as well is it's the quirkiness of some things that they do. Mm-hmm. So they have Krampus runs at Christmas. Yeah. They have that goth weekend.
Yeah.
And I mean that's famous. That I mean people travel, don't they, to go to Whitby? They
travel from all over the world to actually do that. So yeah.
And I think that's great, because there's an energy there, there's history, there's modern folklore-ish energy there as well. Yeah. And I just think that's great. Nigel Porter, you've been up to something. I've been helping Father Christmas all this week and the weekend. I do not know, but that sounds good. If you're helping Father Christmas,
I'll get my Christmas present.
Yeah, my kid will be happy about that. So but Brian, we met through paranormal a few years ago, didn't we?
It is now, yeah.
When you look back and you think, how long have we been in paranormal? The interest and then social media side, it's amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing how time flies. But I mean, I started, like we mentioned before, well before all this social media and technology took over.
Same.
We've been doing it a long time. But we got together through, like I say, the social media and the apps and things as well, actually. So, but it's been a few years.
It has. It's been a few years, and we see a lot of things change. We see things get new trends, things being tried. Mm-hmm. I think I like all that. I find it really interesting. Hello, Robert, from Teos, New Mexico.
Oh wow,
that's amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah, great to see all people from different places. But so, guys, what we're going to be talking about today is this is Brian Allway, and there's Brian Allway's got a few apps on available for download. You've got a good collection of apps, haven't you?
We have over the time. We've made a good thing, because each app is tailor made for what we do, and obviously we work in collaboration, like we do with yourself, to make apps for certain different teams and things. So we've done quite a few over the years now.
Yeah. So please, people, if you're after an ITC app, if you go on to Google Play, search Brian Allway, you'll see a collection of apps. And just like Brian said, it tailor makes them for certain. I mean, would I be wrong in saying certain energies? Because I was looking for an earth. Like ley, because I like working with ley lines, so like a very earth-based ITC app. and I'll be honest with you, it's worked for me because some of the stuff that I've got out of it's amazing.
Oh yeah, some of the stuff you got out of the Redridge one we did, and we still do. We still use it ourselves.
Yeah,
and it still blows our minds sometimes.
Yeah. So guys, searching Brian Holloway, and then you'll see a collection of apps, and the tuned in for different energies. And what I've done is I've got about 3 on my pad. Myself, Team Spirit Paranormal one, which is I find it that's got a different energy to it as well. And sometimes if I think, do you know what, I'm not getting much from Redridge app in this location, I go out to Team Spirit Paranormal, and usually something's happening there.
Yeah,
and I find that really interesting. And I've got another one as well. What you've done on the pad, which I use, and it's usually when I'm on in an outside location. So guys, if you've got any comments or questions about paranormal apps, ITC apps, just put them in. Put them in comments and let us know. Phil Newton, hello, you good looking.
Hello. Oh, he's not wrong there. Hi, Phil, mate. Long time no speak.
That's it, definitely.
As Phil always puts it, he's me brother from another mother.
That's it.
Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it. And again, like we say about being in paranormal for a while, there's names like Phil Newton. We know you. I've never actually met Phil, but I've spoke to him on comments, on videos. It's great to see these. It's great to see people like Nigel Porter. Everyone that everyone we notice and recognise. It's great. It becomes like a community, doesn't it? So,
it is. It's like a family. It's definitely like a community.
Yeah.
Like you say.
Yeah, definitely. So that it's great. But yeah, so any questions on apps, paranormal apps, that'd be great. So Brian's got some on Google Play. So starting from my point of view, because there's the ITC apps, paranormal apps, they are they're questioned a lot, aren't they?
Oh right. Yeah, even to this day.
So, yeah, definitely. Right. So it's like, right, these apps, they can't work. They can work. There's a lot of talk about apps. Now, one thing I can say is I've had instances where I've got that app, I've played it in day by myself. It was coming up, captain. And I messaged yourself and Samantha, and I went, what's chances of this happening? But only when I'm in one particular location. Yeah, Brian, that shouldn't happen, should it?
No.
Really?
The way the apps work, I mean, we say ITC, but it's reversed audio ITC as well. So any word, whether it be captain, and, it, but, the, names, anything, they can't be there. They're not there. No. Because all the audio banks that are in the apps themselves are all chopped up and then reversed. It's all reversed. So everything is backwards. And what we started doing with a lot of the newer apps as well, we not only chop them up into, like, if we have a bank, say one bank, one of the banks is 40 seconds long.
Yeah.
We normally would reverse that, and so you got reversed audio. But what we started doing as well is chopping it up into literally 1 second chunks or less than a second, and then putting it back together in random order as well as. So there is, and then that is reversed. So there is absolutely no chance at all, by accident, there can be a word. Yes, you can get what people call pareidolia, audio pareidolia. But what we do is we go through those banks very carefully, multiple times, and remove anything that sounds by accident like a word. Anything remotely similar to a word, we remove. So by the time the app's finished and it goes out and you get to use it, we say there is literally no chance that there can be a word there, even by accident. So where you getting captain and getting it multiple times like that doesn't happen. And what is also cool is you get captain, or someone else might get something else, but I've never had captain come out of it.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's not something that's in there. It's just that's something that's personal to you, a message for you.
So, and this is how I see it. And I just want to say hello to James Ashworth, Kirsty Coles. How you doing, everyone? So I just want to say that's what happened. I was sat, it were at bottom of a graveyard, same place. I were on an exercise route. I used to stop there, play the app, and see what happened. And I kept getting captain. Funny thing is, 2 weeks later, I was doing some research, and the first investigation place, the next investigation place I went to, I did a bit of research, and the character that I ended up researching about was nicknamed Captain, and it was the POW camp where the app, when I was at the POW camp, it came up with Paradise, France, and 2, and it led to this story about a British unit retreating because they run out of supplies, and sadly they got massacred in Hell in Paradise in France. 2 survived. How that app was saying Captain, about that character, and then when we were there, came up with France, Paradise, and 2. It were amazing. And I nearly didn't look that up because I thought it's got nothing to do with Sheffield. And the guy that I was with, Denton, went, "No, look it up. You've got to look it up." I went, "Yeah, you're right." And actually, I know that, and I weren't going to do it. I read it up, and it were about the captain. It were amazing.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. And that shows how the apps work. What we've been trying to tell people for years while we've been developing these things. Both me and Samantha have drummed on many times that the app came out with information that just couldn't be there. Like I said, it can't be there. I couldn't have known to put it there a year in advance when I wrote the damn app. You know what I mean? When I made it for that. No. That came up with information for you that led you down a path that you would not have gone down.
Exactly. And
that's the thing.
And that's what I say. When someone says, "Do you think they work?" I go, "Well, it works there because it made me. It did this
exactly. There you are.
It works. Phil Newton's put a comment up. Brian had me up to when I used a Magic's app because my late paranormal friend came through and said he was the spirit that was over lots of sweeps. It was amazing.
I remember that well. Yeah, I remember it well.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it wasn't just easy. Like as the apps are sweeping as well. We'll explain about that a little bit later on how the apps actually work because I always like to be open and transparent about how they work. But for it to a voice to come through over that many sweeps. And Phil said at the time, it wasn't just a voice that sounded a bit like his friend. It was his friend's voice. He recognized his voice.
Yeah.
Which is even cooler.
Yeah. And that's not something what's coming from an inbuilt piece of software. It's never happening.
No.
And then so you've got that case there with Phil. And I mean that says a lot. And then that what happened with me with Captain, and then doing that next investigation. And then I've got another one, but first, Judith Wilson. I had a brother and his wife who lived in the North Pole for a while. He was retired from the US Army and working for them, and was on a snowmobile when an avalanche occurred. He was buried alive. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It's terrible. And froze to death about 7 years ago. Wow.
That's so sad.
But and again, that's a tragic story, and you can imagine if you know that about that person, or you don't know about that person, you go somewhere where that kind of incidents occurred, and then you get information through what links to that story. You can't.
But people have many times. They've get messages all the time about people using these apps and what they've done with them, and I get very similar stories where they've gone somewhere and they've getting very specific information about the location or something that happened at that location where they are, whether it be like from a long time ago or even recent accidents, like similar to that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Robert I believe that investigating teams use so much technology that they lose sight and why they are there. That's true. But first time we met with Brian and Samantha, for instance, I think it were 80%, maybe even more.
Mhm.
It were 80%. We didn't use Alive. We didn't use videos. We kind of walked around and picked up on energy, didn't we?
Yeah, we just felt. What we do. I mean, he's totally right. He's totally right. Robert's totally right.
Yeah.
We, like I say, we develop apps and we have technology, but we don't say use them exclusively. What we say is, what we do is we go into a location and you feel. Don't turn anything on. Just stand for a moment. Just tune in yourself to the environment, to the energy, and then what we do is then, if we feel like we need to, then use a bit of technology to help, then we do. But yeah, it totally gets some people go in and you see them with them body things on and they're just covered in meters and lights and cameras and they look like something out of Star Wars, don't they? And it's like that's taking it to the extreme the other way.
Yeah, definitely. And I totally agree with that. And we do a lot of that. And strangely enough, when you're doing that is usually when things happen.
Yeah.
And you haven't got it recorded. Phil Newton on a going back to that note about his friend, he did say he was going to come back to prove there is an afterlife. Oh, that's amazing.
And he did.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, definitely. Hello, Robert, from Haunted Scotland. We are not alone. Definitely. It's great to see Robbie on. So yeah, there were another instance as well, Brian, which, I mean, Tiffany, a friend of ours in Las Vegas, found this amazing because, I mean, you know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I know what to hear. So
when people talk about apps and questioning apps, you've got to question everything, but we're here today just put some things out there that this one I can't see. Well, for one, no, it can't have been staged. It can't have been rigged in any way whatsoever. No. So me and Phil were doing a live. We were using an African mask that we've got in studio. We got some words coming over in ITC and captions were coming up as well, and everyone were going, "Whoa, these are getting dark," and it was saying Michael a lot.
Yeah,
and you and yourself and Samantha went, "Oh, well, we've had a Michael."
Yeah. We know exactly who that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Surrounded in darkness, this Michael.
Oh yeah.
So, and you mentioned about a David as well. What's in this? And it kind of cleared up. Meanwhile, so everyone listening to this, meanwhile, a friend of ours in Las Vegas, Tiffany, you can find her over at Paranormal Requiem. Requiem Paranormal, sorry. She's in Vegas. She's watching it, but then she later that day she goes to use a S-Box, which is it's not based on software. It's a different type of ITC equipment using radio waves. She's got that on like she usually does. Michael started coming over, and it with the same kind of dark kind of undertones message as what we were getting with Brian's Red Rejects app that we've got. And she messages me going, yo John, that Michael you were getting on ITC on your app, I'm getting it on my S-Box. And she even contact Brian and Samantha, just let them know this because that's weird. And if they knew about Michael and then they've noticed it on our live, and then all of a sudden you're picking it up, I mean, this is Brian. What did you think to that?
Again, it was crazy, wasn't it? Because when we first started getting Michael, no one else had mentioned about this entity at all ever. We just started getting them through, and he was very dark. I mean, incredibly dark. And some of the things he was doing and saying was kind of nuts. The next day, then you started picking up on it on a different app, because we weren't using the Red Ridge when it first started coming through. We weren't using the Red Ridge app; wasn't even a thing.
No, it weren't. No,
exactly. And then someone at the other side of the world, like I say, on a different device that is hardware based rather than software, a proper like IT thing, and it comes through on that as well. The same thing. And you think, how?
How is that possible?
Yeah.
I am Andy Bell. So, just like you said, it was coming through on our app. You were getting it before us on a different app before our app were even made. And then someone were picking it up on an ITC, sorry, like an S-Box, basically. So, like you said, totally different technology.
Yeah.
So, everyone watching and listening, this is how it ends. Tiffany, she's a strong character, isn't she?
Yeah.
And there's no way anything from an S-Box is going to be scaring her. And she questioned it. Right, you're saying this is you and who you are. The more she questioned it, it just disappeared. It didn't like it.
No, never did. Even with us, if you started questioning it, it just backed off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for anyone, so these questions of, well, it might have just come up, that name. Well, even though it can't have across all those platforms at the same time, the chances of that's just astronomical. We've not had Michael since.
No.
For months.
No. He just literally it went as quick as he turned up. He just gone.
Yeah.
Just like that.
And maybe it didn't like its identity being questioned. It might have not liked the fact that me, Tiffany, yourself, were all talking, saying, "Hey, well, something's not right here." We were passing theories about.
Yeah.
It didn't like it. Didn't like being questioned.
No.
And left.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in all, that week captain and that investigation location with that information, along with that instance with Michael, yeah, I mean, at worst, I'd say it leads you to great history, which it has done for me.
Oh yeah,
but I think I can happily say it were definitely picking up on it were picking up on something in that trio of results. Amazing. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, you can't really explain that, can you?
No, and like you say, when you understand how the apps actually work themselves, there's no explaining it. There's no. It's not just again down to the old audio pareidolia. It's not down to random chance.
Yeah,
it just can't happen.
Yeah, do you want to say hello to Brian?
Hello. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you. You know where you live, don't you, Whitby?
You do. You were here, weren't you?
Yeah. See you later.
Is there children there?
No, they've got no children there today.
Not today.
No.
Right. The babysitting.
Yeah. Now, go on. So yeah. So yeah, that's my little daughter there. Yes. So yeah. It's definitely interesting on those results in them instances.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So Phil, have you got the video ready with the ITC? I'll just see if he's got it ready. Because what it is, Brian, we've got a recent investigation, like last couple of months, and we were at a steelworks, and it came out with a few words, but it's so on point to the location, and also the order in which they came in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really interesting. I hope you don't mind us just putting it on so people
Not
can
at all.
see it.
No,
Yep.
definitely.
So yeah, Phil, ready when you are, bro. We're looking at the bridge right now. Is this somewhere? Yeah, they were husband, hot, and, and things like that. It also had when we turned up there, it said hello.
Yeah.
And then it gave the information about husband, hot, and then towards end, must go, leave.
Leave, yeah.
I mean,
again, you could hear them clearly. They're there, and again, like I said, those words can't be there. They're not there. There's something manipulating that to communicate with you.
Yeah. So yeah, Phil Newton, some good replies there. Hello, Nicole.
Hey, Nicole.
Mandy Bell says, Darcy's still got that nasty cough. I know. No monkey. There you go. Right over there. So yeah, you saying that as well. I mean, that location, it were a steelworks. I mean, a lot of husbands worked there. That was their livelihood.
Yeah.
And you know, there were incidents there. People did pass away from work related incidents. So, like you said, it is really interesting. The order it came in, how clear they were. It's
fantastic.
Really,
absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and I've just got to say thank you as well to you and Samantha, because working with us is great when building app, and when we meet up, it's brilliant as well.
Oh, it is. We enjoy it, like I say, and when we were making the app, like I say, it was good to work, and we sort of bounced ideas off each other, and it came together beautifully, didn't it? I mean, it worked straight away. It kind of was one of those apps where we didn't even have to really work at it. Just the ideas came, everything just dropped into place like that.
Yeah, it did. And we're having the viewer as well.
Yeah.
I was stood in an area where a ley line is, but there's literally nothing else there. If I did a live, there, it'd have been me in a field. But it's got a good view, Sheffield, and I was turning round and asking if there's anything. Anyway, as I were turning towards Sheffield, in a straight line towards Sheffield, it just went stop. I'm like, right, okay, I'll stop. And then next word that came out is, I'm Phil, is what it said. Yep. And I look and I'm thinking, wow, what if? You know, just what if there's something there in that direction named Phil? So
intriguing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, Brian, what we'll do is that were one clip there of the RTC being used, and we're thinking as next investigation, it's coming up soon. It would have been tomorrow. But due to things happening, it isn't. But when we do next investigation, and we always use ITC.
Yeah.
Depending what we get, we'll do a live review, and if you don't mind, if you can, we'll do it where you can pop on and then see what you think, because
no problem.
You've got a really good ear for it as well, haven't you?
Over the years now. I mean, again, that's one thing that people have said when they first starting to get into the ITC, the reverse audio ITC. It takes a bit of getting used to, because obviously when you run the app, there is a lot of noise. There's a lot of what we class as gibberish. The banks are sweeping at very high rate. It's all reversed audio, but you do quite quickly, your ear sort of starts picking up what you know shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
But it does take a little bit of time. Sometimes people have said, "Well, I can't hear it." You just got to keep going with it. Try it for a bit, turn it off, try it for a bit, because people have got to remember, it's not only you trying to get used to the app and how it works and how it sounds, but the spirits that are around you. You've got to entice them as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes people turn these things on and think, "Oh, well, a spirit maybe automatically knows how to do this," but not necessarily. You've got to think to them, you can use this. Coming forward, use this sound. Try and manipulate this sound. Tell them what to do. Give them instruction.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
They get used to it as well as you getting used to it. And the more you do it, say in a set location, it gets easier.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just like there, Mandy Bell. She said, "Yes, I've definitely come accustomed to it."
Yeah, you do.
And I was same at first. I was like, I think you've got to try and slow your thinking down, haven't you? Like tune yourself in that way.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to listen for a clear word at first, and it's like, right, wait. And then now I'm pretty good at I can hear it straight away when it's happening. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, when we were doing that investigation at Steelworks, they were very clear. And I heard them on spot.
Yeah, you do. A lot of them you do. I mean, some of them, like what we've said, sometimes it's best to record your session, and if you go back over it, it's amazing what you missed in the moment. But some of them are just, they're so clear, there's no mistake in what's being said. You don't need to listen back or think. And again, those are the ones that get you sometimes, aren't they? Even now, the amount of time we've been doing this, and you probably do the same, been doing this for years, even with the ITC, and it still makes you still jump up and down like a school kid when you get a really clear response. It's sort of very exciting still. Oh, we've lost audio.
That's it. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. It is still it is exciting to get them results. Yeah, just sorry about this. Robert's put a comment up. As you know, Britannia was occupied by Rome at one time. Do you ever hear Roman soldiers speaking in Latin?
We've had Latin, we've had clear Latin, we've had Latin. I think we've had every language going. We've had Latin, German, French, Dutch, Japanese, Chinese. We've had everything. And what's cool is we've not only had like people like you that's been doing the lives and had annotations going, Google annotations and things, and it's picked up on these languages, but we've also had people who are watching who natively speak those languages be able to translate some of what's been said. Yeah. What's coming out the app, which is really cool. But yeah, we've definitely had Latin.
Yeah,
100%.
Definitely. And I think you were watching us when we had German come through at one point.
Yeah,
as well.
I remember that. Yeah, clear German. Again, I remember the live because someone was actually telling you what was being said in German.
Yeah,
really cool.
It is. It's that I found that really interesting when that happened. Mm-hmm. Paul Atkinson said we tried Brian and Sam's apps on Pendle Hill. Got some great results.
That's one place me and Sam really, really would like to go.
Yeah, same here. It's been arranged a couple of times, but I've never managed to get there.
It's on the bucket list.
It is, yes. It's on that list. We'll we'll have to definitely sort
Oh,
that.
100%.
Yeah, it wrote off. Yeah, Phil said he's had French, German, plus other languages.
Yeah.
So yeah, I personally, I like where the apps take us, as in finding history, and I find the replies like something must be guiding them replies. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
And and thank you for your app as well. It's
you're more than welcome. Like I said, it was our pleasure.
Yeah.
Again, even think it was one of the most challenging we'd worked on at the time. So you see, it had you asked for the camera feature on as well, the live camera feature,
Yeah.
which threw us a little bit of a wobbly, but we got there in the end.
yeah, it was good. I remember that. Yeah, but no, it's brilliant, Brian. And like we said, we'll do the next investigation, run ITC, and then we'll do a live review. And if you can pop on.
Just let us know, and we'll pop on and we'll take a listen.
Yeah, definitely. And just Mandy said it's amazing how it picks up accents too.
Yeah, I was just about to say that when we're talking about the voices and the languages coming through. We've had different languages, obviously different dialect of each language. We've even, like I said, Mandy said, different accents. We've had broad northeast accent, like from where I am all the way down. We've had different accents in different languages. It's insane. It's absolutely insane when you think about it.
It is, because I were in Scotland, and I were in an area of Scotland, and we were with someone that were from that area. And ITC came out with a few things, and the person we were with, what was Scottish, new area, went, that's really strange because that's like a regional accent.
Exactly.
And he said it's come out with that from your app. And I went, well, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be able to know. I don't know that.
Yeah.
The person what were there knew that.
It confirmed it.
Yeah.
And again, you can't get any better than that.
No.
That's the thing. That's as good as it gets.
Yeah, definitely. So I find them amazing, and it's great stuff. So have you got any plans, Brian?
We're going to go out for a bit. We're going to try and get out and investigate more, which is one thing we were always wanting to do. We are working on other little things as well. I'm working on another collaboration app at the minute, but we've been working on another one that uses a slightly different technique. Obviously, like we said with the apps, we reverse the audio, we chop it up, and then we put it into the banks. The banks then sweep at very high speed. But what I did in a new app is, as the banks sweep, normally it picks a random bank, plays it at a random amount of time in milliseconds, and then at a random volume. So it keeps the randomness going. So what it does now in this new one, it not only picks a random volume, but it picks a random pitch. It changes the pitch live, but randomly as it fires each bank, which again adds massively to the amount of random noise generation. Because every time it hits this, as it's going through the banks as it's sweeping, you obviously go and hit the same bank, but at a different point in the audio, further along or whatever, or in a different position. But it can also, because now it can change the pitch up and down, that bank will sound completely different depending on what the pitch is.
Yeah.
So the new app, I think, has got about 5 banks, but with the way it works, it's the equivalent of having like 15 banks. You know what I mean? Because it's changing the pitch as well. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. That's interesting. Is that first one like it as well?
Yeah, that's the first one we've done that's got real-time pitch as well. But like I say, you don't get control because we thought like, you could let people control the pitch, but then you can only just take it up a bit and then it stays there. You can take it down. So what this does is it picks it for you, but it's within a certain range, so it doesn't go too high, but it definitely goes high enough that it changes the pitch, and low enough, but it then picks random. Every sweep is completely random. It'll never be the same twice. So, and it does give it a different sound, but it also gives the Spirit far more frequencies to play with.
Yeah.
Actually, to manipulate that sound as well. Now that one's still in like the prototype stage at the minute, but it's working really well. We have done a couple of live streams when we actually used it, and we got some really, really cool stuff.
Yes, that is amazing. I mean, if you start getting a set of words out, what makes a sentence from that would be. I mean,
it's been crazy. I mean,
yeah,
I did it, and I didn't know how it would work exactly with it because obviously it's changing the pitch again very fast. These things sweep when people are using them. I've always said when it fires a bank and then switches to the next bank thing, it's in milliseconds.
yeah.
So it's very quick. And to change the pitch at that speed as well, I didn't know whether it would work or not, but it's working really well.
No, that's amazing. No, can't wait for that, Brian. That sounds great.
It's coming soon. Obviously, things have slowed down a little bit because, like I say, work's took over. We're working like crazy at the minute.
Yeah.
So the apps have took a slight back burner. I'm just working on them when I can, when I've got that little bit of free time. So they're taking a little bit longer to sort of develop and get out at the minute, but they are coming. There's definitely some cool stuff coming.
No, definitely, and can't wait, and we'll definitely share your updates. Phil Newton, got to go, guys. Great live. Take care. All blessed be love and light. See you soon, Brian and Sam.
Yes, he's planning a visit, I believe. So
excellent. No, that's great. And have a good one, Phil, and thank you very much.
Cheers, Phil.
We'll
see you very soon.
Yeah, no, it is good that as well. So yeah, Robert, please come to the United States if it's when this virus cools down. It'd be ace. That'd be ace. I'd like to go.
It's one of those things on the bucket list. We've got a big bucket list at the minute.
Yeah,
many things we need to do.
Yes, definitely. So thank you everyone for being in comments. Thanks for everyone for watching. Brian, thank you for coming along.
Oh, thanks for inviting me on.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's always great to have you on. Yeah, and can't wait for next time. And yeah, we'll probably review an investigation live and see what we can.
Just let us know when.
No, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, thank you everyone for comments and views. I hope you all have a great weekend. We will be live over the weekend. So yeah, we hope to see you again then. Until then, Brian, thank you, and everyone else.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Bye.